Robots, rejects, and receipts. The only thing that you can get away with these days, apparently, is kidnapping an elderly church-going grandmother from her bed in the middle of the night. But did the kidnappers come for Nancy Guthrie specifically because she was known to be the mom of Savannah Guthrie? I mean, was Nancy targeted for money? Can you imagine the survivor's guilt Savannah must feel today? She lays bare her heart. It's Hot Mics with Billy Bush daily. Here we go.
Doing me, right?
Right is sharp. That's insane. Billy Bush. What a pleasure.
Another compliment. There she is. Welcome to Hot Mics. Thanks for joining us on TuneIn, Facebook, YouTube, soon to be TikTok Live. That's what I hear. I'm hearing we're adding TikTok Live to the overall approach. Wow, a lot going on today. The Savannah Guthrie interview, just in a couple seconds here, we'll get into that. That's first. Boy, tough to watch. Chappell Roan, more receipts. I mean, wait till you see this. It's like the Blake Lively effect. You know what I mean? Now people are sending in all kinds of things. Taylor Frankie Paul, when is enough? There seems to be a video of every ounce of her terrible night in 2023. Is it so much? Is it so bad that it's like actually going to help her? I mean, you're right. Feels a little bit merciless. And people are sensitive and ultimately in the end forgiving. Meta and some of the largest social media companies and giants are in an existential fight here. I mean, it looks to me like they could be in a lot of trouble. We'll get into that. And Melania and the robot, I can't unsee it. I cannot unsee a robot escorting Melania out and then the interaction and the whole thing. It's just so weird with so much going on. And of course, I think top of a lot of people's minds is the woes at TSA. I am supposed to get on a very early flight tomorrow morning, an overnight trip to St. Louis for a charity event that I really want to attend, and it's important. But if I'm going to be at 5, super early flight, and I'm going to be waiting and getting there at midnight, 4 hours, 3 hours, I don't know. I got to look at this. We got to research this.
Hey, Bill.
I check Polymarket all the time. Did you pull that up?
I did. So here's
Okay.
the delays for tomorrow, Billy. Let's see if this works for you here.
All right. Polymarket prediction markets. Here we go. Let's see. Number of U.S. flights delayed for March 26th, which is today. Let's see. It seems to be, most people think 3,500 to 4,000 flights seems to be what people think. You can, look at this. You can make the most amount of money by saying under 3,000. It looks like it's 4%. Or way over at 5,500. But the poly market is interesting. These prediction markets, you check and see what people are thinking, what they're feeling, and ultimately it can affect your investment decisions. Some people invest only on what others are saying and feeling on poly market. It's kind of crazy. I don't know what to do. I've got to figure it out. But I'm tight. I'm tight about it. And the Senate is supposed to go on a 2-week vacation tomorrow on Friday. And so, Senate Majority Leader John Thune said, guys, and ladies, be prepared to stay and not go. Boy, do you think that'll make them work a little bit quicker and try to come to some type of resolve? In the end, though, Trump is saying don't make a deal. The irony is incredible, is that ICE agents are now at TSA. And it has no bearing on TSA is like the whole fight is over funding ICE and their deportation tactics and all of that's the fight. And yet somehow it's coming out on us. We're all feeling the brunt at TSA and the TSA workers who, are now officially not getting paychecks. Well, they have rents to pay. They don't want to get evicted. They got to feed their kids. So they got to go find work somewhere else if they're not getting paid. They're living paycheck to paycheck, most of them. The average TSA, salary is like $50,000. So it is a mess. And of course, Trump is connecting this new SAVE Act, right, to fight voter fraud that none of us think exists. And that's connected now. And so someone's got to give. We'll see what happens. It's just a mess, though. So, Savannah Guthrie, we saw a little preview yesterday. She's back at work this week. Savannah did an interview with her best friend, Hoda Kotb, one of her best friends, and shared what she's going through. It was very emotional, a lot of tears. The first clip we're going to take a look at here is how she found out that night when she got a call from her sister.
Well, I had given Mike for Christmas a boys' trip to go play tennis, and so he had been gone for the weekend. So I took my kids actually to Carson's. So we had a beautiful, fun night together, and then I came home, and really it just got home at the same time that Mike came home, and we were just saying hi, putting down our stuff, and the kids were running around. And my sister called me, and I said, "Is everything okay?" Mm-hmm. And she said, "No." She said, "Mom's missing." And I said, "What? Yeah. What are you talking about?" She said, "She's gone." And she was in a panic. I was in a panic. I'm like, "Call 911. Yeah. She's like, "I did. We've called them. They're here." And we thought that she must have had like some kind of medical episode in the night, and that somehow, the paramedics had come because the back doors were propped open, and that didn't make any sense. We thought maybe they came and there was a stretcher and they took her out the back, but her phone was there and her purse was there and all her things, and it just didn't make any sense. So, Annie and Tommy had already called all the hospitals, but then I'm like, I'm going to call the hospital. So then I started calling the hospitals, and the police were there and talking to her at the same time, and it was just chaos and disbelief.
Wow. So, you never think, oh, my gosh, that's the last place you go, right? Your sweet mom, she's in her little retirement community. It's a nice little area, Catalina Hills. It's not a heavy crime area at all. The doors are open. No one is thinking. The last thing you're thinking is kidnapping, at this point. And then, of course, her brother is the one who said, no. I think what we're dealing with is exactly that. And then, of course, if you're Savannah Guthrie, at that point, you're thinking, oh my God, is it because of me? That's the next clip.
Like, how dumb could I be? But I didn't want to believe. I just said, "Do you think because of me?" And I said, "I'm sorry, sweetie, but yeah, maybe." But I knew that.
You did?
I hope not. I mean, we still don't know. Mm-hmm. Honestly, we don't know anything. No. We don't know anything. So, I don't know that it's because she's my mom and somebody thought, oh, that girl, that lady has money. We can make a quick buck. I mean, that would make sense, but we don't know. But yeah, that's probably, which is too much to bear. To think that I brought this to her bedside.
You didn't.
That it's because of me.
Not.
And I just say, I'm so sorry, Mommy. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to my sister and my brother and my kids and my nephew and Tommy.
Oh my God, the survivor's guilt, survivors and thrivers guilt, right? Because she's, so economically viable and successful, with that. And, so she's of course blaming herself. Christina in the comments section, why wouldn't NBC do this on week 1 or 2 to help find her mom? I don't know. I think NBC probably did everything they They could. What a terrible situation to be in. They can't really be out front reporting the story either. Bella Kim says if she was taken in the middle of the night by medical officials, the family would have been notified. Yeah, of course, but you're going to every place before you go to kidnapping. I mean, that's just not some place anybody could go. Lawson says Savannah may be planning to return to work, but she will never be the same. It will be tough for her to discuss frivolous topics for a very long time. No kidding, right? I mean, it's time for a cooking segment. Okay, here we go. Oh, look, we have the Thigh Master here, and we're all going to do it together. All the morning hijinks just seem so totally irrelevant. Kylie says, Billy, your mom is so precious. Please keep her off your show. I would. No. Don't worry. Again, worry about the others. But mom has muscle all around her. Don't worry. And a lot of. It's not the way we can live. We can't live like this. You know what I mean? It's just, you can't. What I don't understand is how unbelievably terrible this investigation was. And we keep going back to it. There's just no way to accept that. I mean, I'm stunned. I do believe that we will ultimately figure out and find out what happened. I do think that is just inevitable because we live in a world of receipts. We just do. There's just, I like to say, and unless this case proves me wrong, I like to think that, you just can't get away with anything. Anything. The receipts are out there for everything. It's just unbelievable. Is it human trafficking, says Maria? I can't imagine. Why would anyone, an 84-year-old woman, she's not going to be helpful to anyone. On a pacemaker and all these, it just doesn't seem right. Okay, you guys, this is it's just sad. But look, I think it's effective that Savannah is speaking out and sharing. We were all on that ride. I think she wants to give a little back and share her feelings with people, and also wants to keep some part of the investigation alive and going, so we can get to the end. Can you believe the other day, Sheriff Chris Nanos of Pima County, he was just on a local news station like Channel 4 in Tucson or something, and he was saying, I believe she's still alive. I believe we're going to get her. Like, what are you, out of your mind? This guy's still going? I appreciate the positivity, but how about an update on why or how that could possibly happen? Appreciate the positive vibes. How about some type of information on a very bungled investigation? All right, well, we shift gears right now in a major way to this person that many of you may be thinking, why do we make people like this famous? Taylor Frankie Paul, TFP. This one, oh my God, more police body cam footage has come out. There's got to be like 8 or 9 different tapes now. Is this all public record? Somebody in the legal community help me out here. Is this partially public, or is this all, gossip at websites, bribing the police department or the court system to let these out into the public sphere? It seems a bit out of control, right? It seems a little bit excessive. Here's the latest of Taylor Frankie Paul after the worst night of her life in 2023. In the back of a police vehicle, having a conversation with a fairly nice officer, it seems to me.
I've tried to explain that.
But you haven't. You said I pushed him, but yeah, he pushed me first, and so I reacted.
You guys were pushing each other back and forth, but then
So why am I the one?
it reached a point where you were identified as the primary aggressor by throwing stuff at him and throwing stuff at his truck.
Look at this guy. He's so nice and patient.
And like I said, those are things that you'll need to talk to the court about.
Why are you guys on this side? I don't get it.
She's drunk and crying and... Oh
so
my God.
he's free to go, even though He pushed me into my kid's playset.
He was mean to my kids. He pushed me first.
I don't care if it's right or wrong. I just want everyone to understand it.
Yeah, Jackie made a comment there. That's enough of that. Jackie made a comment there about, the reality shows and producers. They knew all of this. Let's address that in just a reality show knew of her background but wanted ratings. They want psycho behavior. Yeah, they want shamelessness. But what do you think? Is this town square shaming of Taylor, Frankie Paul, is it starting to benefit her because it's too much? Overkill. Like, yeah, she's not an overly sympathetic character, but you're making her one. The more and more you beat her down with these videos, I wonder. The guy that was filming her, Dakota Mortensen, with whom she shares a 2-year-old, he's filming her to take her out, to show leverage that it wasn't him, that it was her. He might just be making her bigger and more famous, the way this works. We have, and reality TV is the engine of it, the shamelessness economy, right? I mean, corporations, as mentioned a second ago, Disney, the home of Goofy and Mickey, are grooming hysterical narcissists for ratings. I mean, how did ABC or Hulu not know about this, right? They knew about the arrest and all that, but it's the video. They didn't know that there was a video of this. They didn't know that every police officer that comes to the door, and especially with, what we've been through since 2020 with police officers, allegedly, I mean, they all have body cam footage. That footage is always out there. And don't tell me Disney doesn't have the resources to go and find it and take a look at it and figure out, what exactly they're dealing with. Is it worth the risk? Do they have so much money? And they've lost a reported $70 million on this season. They pay Warner Brothers, the production company that makes The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, $5 million an episode. So they blew like $70 million of money. They're never going to be able to recoup in advertising when they canceled The Bachelorette. Or did they cancel it, by the way? Maybe they're just waiting and it will come out and the ratings will be bigger than ever. I don't know, but they absolutely knew about it. And why didn't they get out in front of it? That's another thing. If you knew about it, get in front. Here's the way shame and cancellation works. It works on gotcha. It doesn't work if you get out in front of it, okay? If you get out in front of it, you're a hero. Work with me here on a second. I'm going to get personal for a second. The old Access Hollywood bus tape, okay? I got fired for hearing something that a person of consequence was saying on a bus and not doing anything about it and maybe giggling and whatever you want to say. When it came out, and I knew about it for years and years, and especially in the week building up to my release, and I remember a moment where the chairman of NBC News said to me, do you want to, what do you want to do about this? I couldn't read between the lines. I'm like, what do I want to do about this? A recording that no one knew, he didn't know he was on camera. What do I want to do about it? I want it to just go away. He may be a terrible person in your mind. He wasn't in my mind at the time. I had amazing years working with El Trumpo when he was running when he was doing The Apprentice. It was hysterical. What a ride. Of course, he wasn't a person of consequence at the time. He didn't affect your life. You either watched him or you didn't. But if I had said, oh, I see what you mean. You're going to leak it out if I don't, get in front of it. Okay, do you want and this has been told to me by a million people. If I had come on the air and said, on the Today Show, and I had said, wow, listen, it's not standard practice for a journalist to take off-camera conversations and reveal them to the public. But in this case, I just feel that it's my responsibility to do so because there's an election here, and I feel like you should have all the information available at your fingertips before you cast a vote to know who you're voting for and the substance of their character. And so in that case, hashtag also to get out in front and, save my own biscuit and whatever else. I'm going to present this, and it's a noble act. You know what? I probably would have been lauded as a great hero by the media establishment, which, of course, votes to the left in its entirety, the legacy media establishment. You're a hero. Think about David Letterman. David Letterman, bless his heart, funny guy, the whole thing, great, legendary late-night comic, but he basically guilty of the same things Matt Lauer was guilty of, right? And he admitted it, that he would, slept with a bunch of young women on the staff, interns and low-level employees, and had himself, I reportedly, allegedly, there was a little loft, or a little, daybed, in the office. Well, he ended up shacking up with one of his producers who was in a relationship with somebody else at a different division, like a 60 Minutes, a part of CBS News. That guy tried to extort Letterman. You've done this with my girl, and I am going to demand that you pay me or I'm going to sing. Big mistake, dumbass. Because what Dave then did is come out and say, I've done some terrible things. I have tried to shag literally everybody who works for me, and I've made some bad decisions. It's affected my relationship. I have to heal that at home. Things we've heard a million times from everybody. But there is a greater cancer here, a greater evil, and I am being extorted right now by this person, and extortion is no thing. And somehow, Lauer will bang. And Letterman goes up. The stock goes up because he wasn't caught. He presented it. He got out in front of it. Right? That's how this works. I remember, same thing happened to Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was caught with another lady, and it was coming out, but he came out. He got ahead of it and said, this woman is trying to extort me. I did some bad things in my relationship. I've hurt the woman with whom I'm, share, my life. And, but I will not stand for extortion. Boom. Right back up. That's how shame and cancellation works. It works on a gotcha basis. Basically why, slightly different, but, why Trump is just uncancelable. Certain people are uncancelable. They're always out in front. They don't care. They're doing it right in front of you. But if you get caught, then the internet loves that. We caught you. And then it piles and it gets too big. And those who you work for can't take it, and they can you. So I call it the shamelessness economy. Never thought about that before today, but that's it. Receipts. The receipts keep coming in on everything. In Chappell Roan, she's having a Blake Lively moment. This is incredible. It's receipts day 2 for her. The internet has decided, Chappell, it is your turn. Is it fair? Is there usually an underlying truth to, viral comeuppance, or is she randomly serving her tenure in the barrel of shame right now? Is it random, or is it a random beatdown, an unlucky beatdown of Chappell Roan, or is it a reckoning for past behavior that got to one pivotal, seminal event? We all have off days. The question is for Chappell Roan, are these off days actually your on days? So here you go. Here comes a little parade of past moments. Snapping at some kind of, at the media. She caught somebody in the crowd yawning. They were tired. They drove all night to see her, and she said, bitch, don't yawn. She's
Disregarded
crazy.
as a human, this is what it's like. So
Look
I'm
at
just
this.
trying to go to dinner, and I've asked these people several times to get away from me.
Please step to the side.
Person-
Step to the side.
This person I've asked several times to go away.
She's
and
putting
they
she's
will not.
recording
They're
the
hiding
people
their
trying
faces
to
because they're
take
ashamed.
pictures of her and get
I've asked
autographs.
them. These are all the people.
Look at this little fan guy.
My glasses and it's like, can you sign this?
Regarding all of my.
She's like, look at them. They won't leave me alone.
Then go away. Happy to see you. So I want
Then
all
go
of
away.
you. I'm asking you kindly to please leave
Okay.
me alone.
Also, why the
You get the point. Chappell, I mean, this is the Blake Lively moment, right? So Blake Lively has this moment with Justin Baldoni where, you know, she accuses him of stuff he didn't do. And all of a sudden, all these past moments of her being snippy, rude, condescending to people, reporters, in past press junkets and press lines and, conferences, whatever. Everything in her past starts to come out. Well, what does she do? She calls this a Justin Baldoni organized, orchestrated smear campaign. It's not me. It's not my behavior. Well, it is. The receipts are all there and people bring them out. And that's just what the internet does. Anyone who's in the spotlight, they go looking. When I was highly clicked in that period of my life 10 years ago, highly clicked, everyone looking, they looked for everything on me. Everything you could possibly think. I'm not kidding. I had reporters calling my crisis publicist, who I had to hire at the time, and say, we spoke to a girl that Billy was apparently mean to in 5th grade. And do you have a comment? And I was like, what? Who? I mean, it's incredible. But that's kind of what's happening here, right? It does remind me very much of Blake Lively. Like, none of these things were made up. She's going to have it's the basis of half of her lawsuit, a smear campaign. All this stuff brought back. The internet does that. Justin Baldoni and his team don't have the power to do that. I mean, they can use algorithms and hire, companies to do their best. But the internet does this on their own. The receipts community the sleuth receipt community is always active. Be interesting to see what Chappell Roan does now about this. Does she go searching for a Baldoni? Who do you blame on all of this? Or do you just lay low and understand this is your moment in the barrel? Everybody has to have, we used to have everybody will have their 15 minutes of fame. Everybody will have their moment in the barrel. Some will be massive in the barrel of shame, and some will be, just a blip, and you keep on moving. I should open a consultancy. Don't you think I should open a consulting firm about this? You can call. How do you stay sane? How do you keep yourself afloat? How do you keep living when it gets to be too much? I don't know.
Billy, I think you could. I mean, you went through it and you spent a good 3 years on the back burner. So you could go into first month, second month. Here's where you are a year in from now, how you feel. This is where we'll be after a while. You got a lot there. I grew up in the media. Okay. We move to something I don't quite understand why you would do this, but it comes from our old show, Steve, where we used to work, Access Hollywood, before they got canceled, but before they go off the air, they had a moment with Usher, and they asked about Diddy. Usher and Diddy go way back. Diddy is in jail, and you know why. Did Usher defend Diddy? Roll it.
I think certain people are prosecuted and maybe not recognized for the greatness, that they offer. I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented. I'm not saying that every man is perfect. I'm not saying that all of us don't have flaws, but I can't, with any sense of humanity, not recognize the valuable contributions that this man made.
Really, dude? Are you kidding me? Usher, the valuable contributions that Diddy made, he's a psychopath and an extremely deranged and bad dude. I call bullshit on that. He knew. Don't tell me you did not know what kind of character, Diddy really is and what's underneath there. Please, do not even. That's not possible. And by the way, what's up with the Bieber fight? The Oscars were just last Sunday. And there was an Oscar late night party hosted by Jay-Z and Beyonce. And Usher was there and Bieber was there, and there was beef. There was beef between them. People say it was Usher that approached Bieber. Lots of sources say Bieber's always, had issues with Usher. Remember, back when Bieber was just a little kid, Usher found him, this little 12-year-old. Yeah, Rich English Dick in the comment section. Usher's supposed to help little Justin Bieber. He found him. He and Scooter Braun, who was manager of Usher and Bieber, they kind of raised him out here. And anyway, there was beef between the two of them. I can only think that that's Diddy related. I don't know. But there's got to be a lot of tension in there and a lot of bitterness. I think the world owes a great big apology. The media industry, the entertainment business, the music business owes a huge apology to Justin Bieber. Remember Bieber's post back in December when he was really cryptic, but it tells you kind of what he's feeling and what he's been through. And I see the pain in the kid all the time. It just I had a radio show way back in the day for Westwood One. It was syndicated, and when Bieber was like 14 or 14, I think he came into my radio studio and we spent an hour together. And I interviewed him several different times. And I, later when he was, remember when there was like a paparazzi photo of him naked at some resort in like Southeast Asia or something. And anyway, he came, did a big sit-down interview with me at Access Hollywood there. Anyway, a lot of time spent with Justin Bieber, as he was growing up. But this post he put up back in December, I think it's worth reading again. He said, I grew up in a system that rewarded my gift, but didn't always protect my soul. There were moments I felt used, rushed, shaped into something I didn't fully choose. This kind of pressure leaves wounds you don't see on stage. He acknowledged that he carried anger. He said he was healed. I've been healed by my faith. I hope that's the case. I hope it's ongoing, but thank God he does have a strong faith. He said, I've asked God why, but Jesus keeps meeting me in the middle of the pain, not excusing what hurt me, but teaching me how not to become bitter. I've been through pain that shaped me before I had the words to name it. I don't want to burn the music industry down. I want to see it made new, safer, more honest, more human. Really insightful, powerful stuff right there, written by the Biebs. And that's his faith is in a good place. If instead of I want to tear everybody down who didn't protect me. It's just I want to see it get better. I want to see healing. Wasn't Justin's mom really young, says Christina in the comment section. Yeah, Patty. Patty was very, very young. I think she was like 16 or 17 when she had Justin. So they were ill-equipped. And his father was young too, and he became more of like a buddy. So I think that the parenting was not optimal for him as a young guy. And then you've got, he becomes a cash cow at the age of 12. The only thing that could save Justin Bieber is faith, is God. And thank the Lord he's found it. Although, again, I still see him sometimes and I'm just like, I see a sadness and a darkness there. I don't know. He wants to work in this industry. He doesn't want to like take off and go live in the, heal at a monastery somewhere, and just remove himself from the business that he loves and he's unbelievably good at. But anytime he steps out, that spotlight is in his face. Anyway, I love the kid. I got a lot of empathy and love for him. Carol says no child should be unprotected in this business. No kidding. All right, so social media is facing right now what clearly looks like an existential crisis. Call it their big tobacco moment. Did you see this in Los Angeles? Just yesterday, a 20-year-old, 2 days ago, a 20-year-old named Kaylee and her mom sued the giants of the social media world intentionally for intentionally hooking her as a child, getting her hooked on social and causing her to develop anxiety and body dysmorphia and suicidal thoughts. I know what you're thinking. Many people are thinking, girl, that's on your parents too. But, examine the addictive natures of social. I know what it does to me. Snap and TikTok settled the case before trial. They got themselves out of it. The other two giants, Meta and YT, kept going. They fought it. It was a 7-week trial in Los Angeles. And what was awarded to Kaylee is $3 million in compensatory damages and another $3 million in punitive damages. Well, $3 million, you say, well, that's nothing. Why not just pay it? Like, who cares? Mark Zuckerberg makes that, before lunch every day. It's precedent. Call that the anti-floodgate fee, right? There's more coming if you don't stop it. A Meta spokesperson disagreed with the ruling, of course, and said, teen mental health is profoundly complex, cannot be linked to a single app. We will continue to defend ourselves vigorously as every case is different, and we remain confident in our record protecting teens online. By the way, at the same time, Meta took another hit in New Mexico. It happened in Los Angeles and New Mexico at the same time. New Mexico Attorney General Raul Torres sued Meta in 2023 for allegedly creating a breeding ground for child predators on Facebook and Instagram. He accused them of exposing young users to sexual content and making it possible for adult users to contact children that they don't know. And to buttress his case, he created faux Instagram accounts registered to alleged minors as young as 12 years old that were able to search for and access explicit sexual or self-harm content, including softcore pornography, accounts sharing sexualized images of young girls in lingerie, and he created these fake accounts to see what would happen. The jury found Meta liable on all counts, including for willfully engaging in unfair and deceptive and unconscionable trade practices. Okay, they ordered the company to pay $375 million in damages. Still a drop in the bucket for, a company of that size. But what do you see? This is going in a different direction. I think our social media is going to look a lot different in the coming months, years. Related here, while the president is arguing with Iran over messaging, he says they're desperate to negotiate and in the end end the bombing. And he's got a new threat every day if they don't capitulate and open the strait. This is his latest Truth Social post this morning. The Iranian negotiators are very different and strange, he said. They're begging us to make a deal, which they should be doing since they've been militarily obliterated. There's that word again, obliterated, with zero chance of a comeback, and yet they publicly state that they're only looking at our proposal. Wrong! They better get serious soon before it's too late, because once that happens, there's no turning back, and it won't be pretty. And for those who scream taco, Trump always chickens out. Caroline Leavitt, his 28-year-old press secretary, she came out and said the president never, ever bluffs. And he is prepared to unleash hell. I have an almost 28-year-old. I can't imagine her unleash hell. Oh, my God. Holy shit. Well, again, we checked the poly market prediction markets this morning. When will there be a ceasefire? Poly markets are a great way to understand kind of what people are thinking, right? So also a great indicator of what markets are going to do. Like I said, a lot of people use it to invest as their investment guide, like when to buy oil stocks and all of that. Look at this. Most people think this thing is going to go all the way till the end of the year. But if you were to make a gamble and say it's going to end in 4 days, you're going to get a big payday there. Only 11% of people think that. I would say earlier than later. I think it's just, I don't think anyone has the stomach for it. I think Trump's losing the stomach for it. I think the world wants this thing to end. I don't know how you make a graceful exit, but, an exit nonetheless, I think will be found. The press is also trying to save America from election fraud and change the voter ID laws. I don't think most people don't believe that we have a problem with our electoral system. We don't think there is massive fraud. There's always going to be an aberration in there, a percentage, a certain amount of votes. Nothing can be perfect, but I don't think anyone thinks we have an existential problem. At the same time as all of this is happening, and that, voter ID bill, the SAVE bill, is connected to the DHS funding, which is, they're one in the same, which is crazy because they have nothing to do with each other. All this is happening while he's holding AI education and robotics conferences at the White House. Jesus, did you see this? The robot named Figure 3 escorting Melania Trump into her conference of first ladies and world leaders. Look at this, man. Boy, that's a smooth walk right there. Shows you how fast AI is moving. That's Figure 3. Very smooth walk right there. Melania pauses, lets Figure 3 go into the room. Now wait till you hear Figure 3 talk, okay? So Figure 3 makes a little move around the table and stands there in front of the press and gives a welcoming speech. This is nuts. Okay, hold on. We're trying to find that tape there. Okay, by the way, sitting next to Melania is Brigitte Macron, and she seems completely and totally blown away. But Figure 3 comes out and I think it was like 15 different languages, greets everybody in flawless, Mandarin to French to Italian. So what's amazing is when you hear the voice on Figure, we don't have the tape, but when you hear the voice on Figure 3, I don't know how I think they mimicked or they copied or cloned Paris Hilton's voice. It's incredible. The robot, so highly advanced, speaks like a Valley girl. Like, oh my God, you guys, it's amazing that we're all here for this AI conference. It's like crazy. I want to thank Melania and Brigitte. Like, how is that possible? Is it to make it more relatable? Is that relatable to you? I don't know. And then, do we have Melania addressing everybody? Here she goes. Here's Melania following up after Figure 3.
Thank you for joining me at day 2 of Fostering the Future Together. It's fair to state you're my first American-made humanoid guest in the White House. But moreover, it is my distinct honor to receive such an impressive group of leaders today.
Okay.
45 of you have traveled from...
Okay. Look, I mean, this is like, first it was the UN. She had the gavel and she was like, this meeting will come to order. And now it's a robotics and AI conference that she's running. I think she gave up the anti-bullying platform she had in Trump's first term. At this point, after the president saying, I'm so glad Robert Mueller died, it might be a little hard to sell an anti-bullying platform. However you feel in your politics, and doesn't matter, I think we can agree he's kind of a bully at times. So here's Melania now doing these serious, I think she might have said, like, look, don't give me some bullshit like literacy. Okay, here's the robot. You've got to hear Figure 3 talk.
Inaugural meeting. I'm Figure 3, a humanoid built in the United States of America. I am grateful to be part of this historic movement to empower children with technology and education.
Yeah.
Welcome.
We must balance our tech.
Yeah, with technology and education. Yeah. So, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I'm sorry. It's just, Is your head ever going to explode? Do you feel like, what is going on here? Vince Vaughn is a guy I have not heard from in a while, and I'm bummed about it. I think he's hysterical. You just don't hear from him anymore. We never see Vince if he's not filming Bad Monkey or he's off doing Curb Your Enthusiasm or whatever it is. Vince, it was Vaughn on Vaughn. Vince Vaughn made a trip to Theo Vaughn, talking about the meltdown of late night television in America. Theo put it on him, but Vince was very happy to step to the plate. Vince says they all become so about their politics. Who's good, who's bad. Imagine sitting next to someone like that on a blanking plane. You'd be like, how do I get out of this blanking seat? Saying the late night guys have gone just a little too crazy. Good to hear from Vince. We like Vince. And by the way, speaking of like throwing your producers under the bus, this is amazing. Take a look in this control room. This is a 9x9 room right here. Jerry! Kyle! There's Al. There's Big Al back there. There's 4.
Seth is hiding up here.
Seth is hiding right there. Okay, there's 5 in a 9x9 room. And sometimes, bless her heart, Andrea.
Yep.
The one woman, she can handle each finger on her hand. She can handle each one of these guys with. She's tough. But today, I notice she's showing up less and less in there.
I like yesterday, Noah here. He came in during the show, so he had no idea that anybody was back here. I mean, he knew one was. The door opens after the show when we're off air, and we all come piling out in front of him.
It's a clown car falling out. Noah Fernley, by the way, the kid who plays Michael Bergen, the young Michael Bergen in Love Story, he was here yesterday, and that's what. That's that. But the clown car. No, you need a nice ventilation in there, and please nobody fart. Okay. It's Hot Mics with Billy Bush, and we are rolling on here with my favorite little guy in politics, not the big guy. I'm talking about the little guy, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. God, did he humiliate and embarrass himself even further when you thought there was no way to deprecate any further. The little Keebler elf comes out of the knothole in the tree and lays bare his dignity.
The president has done so much for the American people, and we want to honor him in some small way, some token of our appreciation for his leadership. And so tonight, we have created a new award. We're going to do something we've never done before. We're going to honor him with a new award that we'll present annually from this point forward. But he is the suitable and fitting recipient of the first ever America First Award. We can think of no better title for what that is.
We can think of no better title than America First.
That's this beautiful golden statue here, appropriate for the new golden era in America.
Yeah, the new golden era in America. What are you smoking? What the fugazi is this ass-kissing munchkin Keebler elf talking about? I mean, it's like he has instant amnesia or convenient dementia. This dude goes to the father-daughter dance still with his daughter. She's like 30. He chairs the abstinence ball down in Louisiana, all while helping distract from the Epstein files. This dude's unbelievable. And now he's giving more awards. He's giving an award. He understands that his supreme leader is upset still about the Nobel Peace Prize, so he's found the America First Award. America First at its core means no foreign wars, not exponentially increasing the national debt via external bombing campaigns and other things. It's exactly what's happening, and you give him the America. It's this beautiful denial. It's sweet denial. The name of Mike Johnson's book ought to be The Art of Moral Disengagement. Wow. Unbelievable. What? Says Sherry Morris in the comments section. It's no different than actors and actresses giving themselves an award and patting themselves in the back every time they make a movie. Please, these are movies. It's inconsequential. Knowing where we are, as I appreciate you, Sherry, but knowing where we are in this country right now, with all that, to go out and give an award for, it's like giving me the Tall Award. Billy Bush is getting the Tall Award today. Or, you know what? I'm a pretty decent sized guy. Let's give it to Steve. Steve is 5'7.5". We're giving him the Tall Man Award. Okay. Finally, let's end on a comedy mode. This is great. This thing went viral, and I love it. It's this Michigan woman. Maybe you've seen her. I don't know. She's gone viral for clowning the judge during her court-ordered appearance in which she opted to arbitrarily appear on Zoom while driving her car. Yes, lady, you are driving. Watch this.
Yeah, the seatbelt's coming off of the driver's side. Right? You know you're lying to me, right?
No, I'm not, sir.
Not driving.
Never show you the driver. Let me see the driver. Let me see the driver.
Hang on 1 second.
Now.
I have to ask their permission.
Now.
Oh my God.
She's getting out.
Oh, you're not in you weren't in the driver's side. You think I'm that stupid?
This woman is great.
I'm going to go ahead and enter a default judgment. Our paperwork says that they can't drive. Does it not, Jennifer?
He throws her right out. End of story. She decides not to show up. She calls in on the Zoom and she's like, yeah, here I am. She's running errands. And he goes, you're not allowed to be in your car. And wait a minute, you can't talk on this while you're driving. She goes, I'm not driving. I'm in the passenger seat. She has a seatbelt over her left shoulder. It's like it would be over the right shoulder if you were in. Oh, my God. And she just keeps obfuscating the guy, lying. It's not happening. You're not seeing what you think you see. Oh, my God. I love her. I love her. Well, that's it for us today on this Thursday. What a day. What a day. Boy, thoughts and prayers there, of course, with Savannah Guthrie. Who knows where the receipts go? And most importantly, you learned from me today that cancellation and shame is built on gotcha. If there's no gotcha, there's no cancellation or no shame. So if you're facing a shitstorm, get out in front of it. End of story, and you'll be all good. There you go. Thanks for being with us today. Hot Mics with Billy Bush, wrapping up another week. You can always listen to us exclusively on TuneIn if you're driving in your car. Don't be appearing in court at the same time. Thanks for watching on YouTube, Facebook, and soon, TikTok Live. All right. We'll see you Monday. That's insane.
Billy Bush. What a
Another compliment. There she is.